And it can extend that side brush into the corner. Wow. And the mop pad. Hello everyone, this is just a dad. Today I'm going to do a review on this Roborock Qrevo Edge Robot Vacuum Cleaner. So this robot will vacuum and mop your floors at the same time. Now up here we have a clean water tank, but we also have, this is the dirty water tank. You can see it's been cleaning my floors. It's been doing a really good job. So you will have to empty that out once in a while. And it's going to vacuum your floors and then come back to the base station, and then it's going to get vacuumed up into this dust bag that you do have to change once in a while. Now if you want to add any solution to the water, you're going to add it manually to the clean water tank Roborock solution. Now I really like this robot. It's got LiDAR navigation. This does a really good job of mapping your house and also obstacle avoidance, and it also has a camera on the front and reactive AI that it can avoid objects that are lower to the ground, and then it also has the bumper technology. So let's take a look around back. This is where it's going to fill the robot up with water. And if you've got Roborock solution in here, it's going to fill it up with the Roborock solution and water. This is where it vacuums your house and everything gets sucked up into here. Once in a while you will have to clean that filter. Now if we flip it over, here's the mop pads. It can raise and lower these mop pads, and it can also move one of the mop pads to the edge, which I'm going to show you. That motor will move the mop pad to the edge for edge cleaning, and it can move this side brush to the edge. It's got a brush roller. This helps with long hairs. So hairs won't get wrapped around the brush roller. If they do, they will be directed to the center where it's split, and then it gets sucked in. Now it can raise this front wheel and these wheels when it's on high profile carpet to help with vacuuming. It's got a carpet sensor here, so it can automatically detect when it's on carpet, and it can lift these mop pads when it's on carpet. Now it can't leave the mop pads back at the base station. The mop pads are always attached, but the base station will wash them with hot water and dry them when it's all done. Now once in a while you will have to replace these. They're just held on with Velcro, and you can also put these in your laundry to kind of freshen them up. Now another thing I like about this docking station is that when it's cleaning this, there's these wiper arms that are spinning around to clean the docking station also. The mop pads will be spun on this, and the hot water is going to come down. So the mop pads are being cleaned and the base station's being cleaned all at once. And I like that this is a nice tray. I can take, once in a while I will have to take this to the sink and clean it. It's just nice and convenient. Now another thing is, when the dirty water is sucked up into the dirty water tank, there is a sensor internally that if the water is too dirty, it's going to tell the robot, go remop that area where you were just at. That's an automatic feature from this robot. You're not telling it to go remop. The base station tells the robot, hey, that area you just came from, go remop it. That's called a remopping event. Now I'm going to show you cleaning up this muddy mess. Now the theory behind this robot's going to be spraying water down on top of this mop pad to keep it wet, and it's going to have to capture that dirt. And then after a certain time, whether you've got it set to by room or certain 10 to 20 minutes, it's going to go back to the base station, and it's going to wash that mop pad, and that's going to get all that dirt out of the mop pad, and then it's going to come back. If that water was really dirty, then it's going to say, wherever you just came from, go remop it, and it'll mop this again. So you will get a little bit of smearing at first when you have a big mess. Now for everyday mopping, it does an excellent job of capturing most of the everyday dust and dirt. But when you have a big mess, you will get a little smearing, but again, it will come back and do a remopping event, and that usually gets about 90% of the remaining dirt. Now, if you know you have a big mess, you could tell it to go and mop this area. You could yourself tell it to go mop it in twice. Now the vacuum has 18,000 pascals of suction, and again, it also has a camera on the front. You can turn this into a robot, and you can have it go around your house. If say you're in another state and you've got the app, you could have it go around your house, and you could look at things, and you could also have it take pet pics, and it can go find your pets and take a picture of them. But the reason I like the camera is when it runs into an obstacle that it can't get around, it takes a picture of it, and you'll be able to see it in the app. Now I really do like the Roborock app. It can map your house very detailed. It also shows you where the robot has been, and it also gives you a live view of where the robot's at. You can also go and add thresholds. Now I'm going to be testing it on this 1.9 centimeter threshold 0.75 inches. The manual says it can do up to 1.5 inches. I was not able to get it to do 1.5 inches. This is about the maximum threshold I could get it to do. We've also got some dirt and debris on a rug, and we got a bunch of dirt and debris in this corner. We're going to see how well the corner cleaning capabilities do.
Room cleaning.
Okay, we're going to tell it to go clean this room. The first thing it's going to do, it's going to wash the mop pads. That's going to do two things. It gets the mop pads nice and clean, but it also gets them wet. That way they're ready to go. And what you're hearing is the mop pads being spun, and you're hearing a dirty water pump kick on and sucking the water up into the dirty water tank. It's also going to do this at the end of the job to clean the mop pads. Okay, it's going to undock itself and start cleaning this room. First thing it's going to do is going to go around the perimeter of the room. And here's what it does when it sees a floor register. And you can see it can extend that mop right up next to the wall. Okay, it's going to start mopping the mud. Now again, we do get a little bit of smearing. Now in the app, I can tell it to clean in this direction. It might be better if I had the robot clean in a certain direction instead of going across the grain. Okay, it's all done cleaning this room. It's going to go wash the mop pads. Now, if that water is too dirty that it's sucking up into the dirty water tank, it's going to come and remop this area. I'll let you know if we get a remopping event. Now we can see in the app right where it cleaned. It shows the lines where it mopped. And it's also going to turn the vacuum on to empty out the dustbin after it's done washing the mop. Okay, it's going to undock itself now and remop this area. We have a remopping event. Now it's only going to be mopping, it will not be vacuuming. Okay, here it's going over it the second time. Now we still have just a little bit left in the crevice there. Okay, I'm going to have it start vacuuming this rug. Now I do have it on its maximum suction. It's going to lift the mop pads. It's doing a pretty good job on the rug. Okay, now it's doing its, I had it do 2 passes since that was a pretty big mess. So it's going to go perpendicular on this next pass. It's got this rug really clean. Okay, it got this rug nice and clean. Now let's check some obstacle avoidance. I got some small Lego toys and the corner cleaning. It's able to extend that mop pad. It's vacuuming and mopping. And it can extend that side brush into the corner. Wow. And the mop pad. Okay, it cleaned the perimeter of the room. Now it's going to go back and forth to make the straight lines. Looks like it's recognizing the obstacle. It's going to take a picture of it and avoid it. Looks like it did recognize it, but it sort of knocked it down a little bit. Yeah, it knows something's there. It got a little too close to it at first. And on the map, we can see it took a picture. There's the small, well, it didn't necessarily get that one, but this one, it got a picture of the toy. So the corner cleaning capabilities, looks like it did a fairly good job. Okay, let's go check the threshold. I've got some things to say about this again. I did spend my own money on it. I paid $1,300. It's on, no, I actually paid $16. It's on sale for $13 right now. Now the biggest disappointment is the threshold. Whoa. Okay, I'm gonna have to put my foot on it. It's only able to do 0.75 inches. It says it can do 1.5 inches, but it tilts the body up, and when I saw it tilt the body up, there's no way it could do 1.5 inches. There. See that tilt? There. So it can do a 0.75 millimeter threshold. And if you check out my Instagram account, I got all kinds of videos of it doing. See there, see? It can just tilt its body up, which is not very much. Now, something I'm learning that I did not think was important, I thought this is vinyl plank flooring, I should be telling the robot to clean with the grain. I've been telling it to go against the grain, and that's not, I didn't think it was that big a deal, but I think if it would have went with the grain, which I'm going to start doing, you can tell what direction for the robot to mop in. I think that's going to be important. Even for this vinyl plank flooring that I didn't think had much of a grain, but it actually does. Okay, so now it's time for the real torture test. Now I can tell you already, this is going to get a Just a Dad sticker seal of approval. We're going to go over the score. I do have some U-shaped furniture. I've got some more coming, but somebody in the comments told me the robots can sometimes really struggle with rod-shaped furniture. So we got some fake poop, some more Lego toys. We got a cable. Now it's definitely seeing it. So it has sort of avoided it for now. But we'll see. Now again, I did buy this with my own money. $1,300 right now. Yeah, that's not bad. But I think I just got the Saros R. And it was, is it $1,300? It's really close, but I'll be doing a comparison. It's pretty much the same as this, as the Edge, without the spinning LiDAR on top, which makes it a whole lot thinner. Now there's going to be some important settings. You're going to want, I don't have it on right now, but you're going to want to have it vacuumed first so that the mop pads aren't wet. It'll vacuum all your house first, and then it'll come back and do the mopping, and then it'll get the mop pad nice and wet. That way it's not dragging the mop pad over these nice clean carpets. Yeah, I have noticed even the Saros 10R struggled with this sometimes. One time it didn't, one time it did, so. But the funny thing is it recognized it as a U-shaped furniture. I'm hoping this will too. Yeah, I didn't realize these were such a problem, but I don't have any of this. I had to buy this. It's actually a pretty nice chair off Amazon. I didn't realize robots struggled with this till somebody left it in the comments, so I do appreciate it. And I will be checking robots with lint. I've been hearing like cotton lint on carpet. Now, I haven't seen it get stuck on it yet. And I've had this clean this studio, I think 5 or 6 times now. So while it's maybe, oh, there's that chassis lift. It can lift the wheels. Yeah, and the front wheel. Now it should be doing that on this thick pile carpet. so it vacuums higher on top of the carpet instead of dragging. But we may have a stuck event. You know, and that's a pretty common spot. See how it's kind of next to the wall, not right up. I'm not trying to trick it on purpose. Yeah, they really do struggle with this. I had no idea. Whew, they got aggressive there. Now, this is not going to be a reason not to get it. It does have good obstacle avoidance. It does clean. It's got the really nice dock. So it's going to score high. This, you can always put a no-go zone here. So we don't get too worked up about not being able to clean around this stuff. If robots do struggle, just put a no-go zone here. It is really struggling, but it hasn't given up. That's impressive. Usually a mop pad would fall off by now. That's usually what I find them. They're sitting somewhere with a mop pad off, but not this one. I haven't seen that. I think it's going to get out this time. If it just goes forward. Looks like it got off. That took about 3 minutes to get off. And well, it's not off yet. There. Now see, it's hard to see, but it can lift that chassis. And it should lift that chassis when it's on this car. This is considered high profile carpet. So it should vacuum this with the chassis lifted. But boy, it is determined to go that way. It should say, it should realize I just can't go that way. It might have finally learned not to go there. It just can't see the bar going across. It sees the 4 legs. They just got to work on that, identifying the bar on the carpet, which I think it should be able to recognize that by now with the technology. And be sure and check, I do have an unboxing, setup, first look, and a review on the S10 Roborock Saurus 10R. And I've got the Dream X50 also. And again, this is the Edge. These are some of the latest robots. And I will be getting, I got the R. I will be getting the one that's not the R. But the Edge has been out for a while. I've just been way too busy with the studio. I used it, so it's been working. I just haven't been able to do the review. So it's pretty much been tested quite a lot. It's never not found its way home. You know, I don't think the chassis has lifted on this carpet. And I don't know, I saw a pop-up and I didn't click on the pop-up one time, so I don't know if I missed a setting. But you can tell when that chassis lifts, that front wheel is higher off the ground. Now, okay, it seems like now maybe it is. It is, I'm hoping for it to identify that poop. Not yet. Now, one setting that was not on by default was the automatic re-mopping. So make sure you turn that on by default. And the rise. And again, this one, the vacuum first is not on by default. So I would definitely turn that on. Those are some recommended. There's a lot of settings. And in the first, or the how to set up, I go through every single setting, what I think the best setting is. Now, I was wrong on a few things. I was wrong on the direction. I didn't think this vinyl plank flooring mattered, but I think it does now. So I will be changing my stance on that. Now this time it did not get stuck on it. So it's kind of recognized there's something there and to stay away. So I had it do a full clean the other day. You know, it took 185 minutes, 9 times the mop was washed. It gives you a dirt map. Now, when this thing first started cleaning, there would be some dark areas where now anytime you see grime, that means it went and remopped. And you'll see that under the second cleaning. Sometimes. Yeah, it's hard to see. Sometimes it'll say the second cleaning. Now, one thing I noticed, Roborock's, when it knows it's on the edge of carpet, it does this wobbling back and forth, which I think does help clean that. Because where carpet meets hardwood floors, that can be some of the hardest places to clean. Like stuff gets in there and you just can't get it out. So that wobbling back and forth, I've noticed Roborocks do that a lot. And you can kind of see it in the pattern there of the carpet. Now, it did not recognize, well, it does, but it doesn't. Well, that one it should have recognized. I know sometimes it gets off to the side a little bit and it just can't, it wants to see it, but it can't see it. Like right there, it should see it. Yeah, see, it's starting to see it. It's not updating the obstacle avoidance. I'm not sure why. No, it ran it over. I thought they had this figured out by now. Now that it can lift, okay, getting off of something, now that was cool, I missed it. It will lift itself. It does it lifts the, it's dragging it now. But it will lift the wheels to try to unclog itself. I want to see if it's going to do it. There, see it? That's cool. So there, it knows something's wrong. Ow. Let's pause. So let's explain that. It can lift these and this. If you notice, sometimes I'll try to catch it, but it can lift this front wheel and it can lift these wheels, and it should be lifting it just a little bit when it's on this carpet so that it's not dragging the brush roller on the carpet. It wants to position the brush roller just on top of the carpet so it's doing a good job of cleaning. And sometimes I've seen it do that and sometimes I haven't, so I don't know what the setting is.
Resuming selective room cleaning.
All right, it's picking back up where it left off. It's good. It's doing a good. I mean, we've kind of lost focus. It's doing a good job of vacuuming. No, and it cannot do a small cord. All right, but it's actually doing a pretty good job of vacuuming. And I do think that that's the same split roller on the curve, and the curve's been doing really good. I'm going to be getting ready to do my updated 3-month test, real-world testing on it. It's been doing fabulous. Although I do have to go rescue it about once every couple weeks. I have to go rescue it, like it just gets stuck under something or something. All right, let's do a sound test. I got it on the maximum suction, about 74, 73. Again, that carpet is really clean. Okay, looks like hopefully it seems like it knows to stay away from that now. Okay, it did recognize it. Okay, good. I want to show you. It does recognize pet poop. So good. I'm glad it recognized that. It seems to be doing a better job with the U-shaped or the rod-shaped furniture. Don't do it. Don't do it. Oh. Yep. It didn't learn. But it can lift its, that's okay. So again, although it does kind of get jumbled up with it, it does have a chassis lift. It does got some stuff it can do. Yeah, that, you can really hear that chassis lift. It's, it can change, it can vary the speed of that brush roller too. See how it's like went into hyperdrive of that side brush, then it can slow it down. And I've noticed it will change if it sees that there's something next to the wall, it'll slow that side brush down. There's a lot of technology there that they're very fearful of that side brush. I've never had a problem with it, but there must be a lot of problems with it because there's a lot of technology going into that side brush. And Dream is doing, you know, I don't think they've got it figured out. They're just not turning it on or something when it's on carpet. Yep, it's doing a good job. Side brush just, I think the side brush should work on carpet. Unless there's just so many problems with it, but I've never had a problem with it. It seems to help gather the stuff into the center to vacuum it. Now again, that side brush does seem to be struggling a little bit. I wish the chassis would lift. I think there was a lot of times I'll get a pop-up on this after it's clean. There's like 3 or 4 pop-ups and I'm like, I don't have time. I don't want to mess with it. And I probably should read those. It's probably some, Dad, what are you doing? You knew there was poop there. But those pop-ups you see on the window after it's done cleaning, those are usually important. I remember one being about carpet, about this area, and I think I just swiped it away. Okay, it's returning to dock. Let's see how big it is. Ooh, boy. Ooh, what was that? There must have been a piece of debris in the flapper valve, which it would have hopefully got it out the next time. But yeah, it did a good job. The double brush roller, no hair wrap. Okay, that's good. Hopefully I didn't get anything down in there.
Dustbin installed. Continue dustbin.
Yeah, it comes out right here. Okay. Yep. There's a little bit on the filter, but you'll have to clean that once in a while. Now, interesting note, this is not the future anymore. And in fact, I think I got a piece of rice down there or something. This is quickly, it's February 2024. This is not the future. That's the future. That's not. That's just lowering the LiDAR. The Saros, that's the future. No spinning LiDAR. I didn't see much of a difference between this and that as far as obstacle avoidance. Okay, quickly on scoring. I ran out of scoring. Oops, dang it. I was hopefully going to reuse this on others, but I just realized I wrote over here. Kind of like the old days of taking a test. Don't write on the test. Anyway, everything's a 5. Can it leave the mop pads at the station? That's a 4, but you can tell it to vacuum first, so that's not that big a deal, but that's starting to become more common where they do. Deducted for obstacle avoidance. Yeah, that could also be a 2. I could even go down to a 1. Well, probably a 2 or 3. Everything, and then 1 for price, because for $1,300, maybe you do want a little bit better obstacle avoidance, so maybe I could even subtract maybe another point. So either way, it's going to be an A. Whether it's a 94 or 93, it's still an A. It's still a good robot. Again, we focus on the negatives. The threshold, it was a negative. You know, it doesn't do what it claims, and I tried and tried. but it just can only tilt so high. And even if it lifts the whole chassis, it doesn't lift it high enough to do an 1.5 inches. But I do like the remopping, lots of features with the robot. As far as the app is just loaded with features. And if you want to see every single setting, check out my how to set up for the first time video. I will be comparing to the Dream X50, the Saros. I think these are the same price. I would just get the Saros right now. It's amazing how quickly that got out of date, but hopefully they'll discount it. So, if this one's 13 and that one goes down to around 800-900, then that's going to be a good buy. So again, I hope this video helps. A little different format maybe. I'm trying to be more consistent. I'm still learning this new studio. Again, this studio would not be possible without all your support. I thank you so much. I'm able to buy these robots with my own money. Give you my absolute personal opinion. I can show you the failures. These are not clickbait. Open the box and it just works. I don't know how those videos do any good, because these robots, there's so much more to just opening them up. And sorry about that. Somebody's at the front door dropping off another robot. So again, I got the Saros 10 without the R. And I'll be doing a comparison on those. So again, thanks everybody for your support. I do use links. That really does help me out. So underneath the video, I'll put a link to this robot. If you click on the link, it'll take you to Amazon, and the product won't cost you anymore, but I'll get a small commission from the sale. That is a way of helping just support my channel. Again, that is just so very, very helpful. I can continue to make these videos. I'm listening to your comments. The U-shaped furniture was an amazing comment. The dust lint, the thresholds, I kind of put the thresholds off for a while. I've got a system now in place. I think it's gonna work out pretty good. So thresholds, yeah, let me know if there's anything else you want. I would not have known to test those things without your comments. So this is becoming more and more your channel, our channel together. I'm listening to you. Even though I've got these robots, sometimes I can get kind of focused. I may not have certain things in my house, but everybody else is like, this is really struggling. I need something. This dog hair is another big comment. I get a lot of comments. What's the best one for dog hair? These ones with the split brush, I think are going to do pretty good. I got one dog at home and they all seem to do pretty good. Except the really, really cheap ones, they do get some hangles. So I'm going to be still doing the cheap robot vacuum cleaners. There's a few of those new ones coming out, but man, everything is all about this new, CES this year. I didn't go, I regret not going, but I will be buying every robot, not every, but all the robots that were released there that I think are going to be, and that's where I'm going to be very picky on what robots I buy, because I've kind of wasted some money last year on brands that I thought, well, I was in the process of just buying them, but I kind of knew, I'm like, I don't think this one's going to be any good, because I could look at the specs. And sure enough, it wasn't any good. And it wasn't very popular. So it didn't sell very many. And so it was kind of but I had to do those to know I need to be a little more selective in what I do. I can kind of see what the company, now this MOVA, M-O-V-A, they look like a copy of Dream, but I'm going to start buying those. I'm seeing some traction with those. I'm seeing a lot of requests. So this MOVA, I will start buying those. They're expensive, so I got to put them in the budget every month. The budget's already, it's February, it's already blown. So again, appreciate everybody. And again, I do how to set up, first look, detailed review, comparisons, real world testing. I'll take this robot now. I'll take it to my house. I just got the curve was at my house. And I have it clean my house like 3 or 4 times a week. So it gives it, and I have a dog and lots of dirt. So we're going to have, it has a really good test. And then I show you how to do all the maintenance on it. So check out all those videos. Again, do appreciate everybody's support. Things are changing so fast. I've got to really get these videos out because things are changing and the price points. What's really shocking to me, now again, bear with me here. The pricing, I can't believe how often they're putting these robots on sale. I'm just under such an old way of thinking. 2-3 times a year, you might see sales. That's not the case anymore. Random times. The Dream X40 was $1,000, and it's been on sale for $1,000 like 2 or 3 times in the last 2 months, which that used to be a once or twice a year deal. So, man, I just can't keep up with the pricing. I've got to figure out. Look at my Instagram account. Also my Facebook group page. I try to keep people up to date, but things happen and change so quick. The sales last for a week and then they're gone, and it's hard to get that information out. So I'm trying to work on that, because man, when some of these sales go on, you're getting twice the vacuum as you would as a closest competitor that's the same price. So, man, in some of these you can save $400 or $500. That's huge savings. And some of them are just, when they go to a certain price point, you just buy them. You don't look, you know, I just tell you, just buy it. For that, like when the Qrevo S was $450, it was just a buy. When the Dream L10S was $400, just buy it. It's not the most best vacuum, but that price point, it's absolutely amazing. So thanks everybody for watching. If you could, please like and subscribe. Look for more videos coming, and I do appreciate your help.